Hi, welcome to the Mildly Appropriate Podcast. Sam, what episode is this?
I think we're on 26.
This is episode 26 probably. I don't know, but here we go. Danny, start us off.
Right, yeah. I don't know. What are we going to talk about today?
That worked pretty well.
Well, we can talk about what you were just going to mention. You were like, are you sure we don't want to save it for the Halloween episode? I don't know what you were talking about. But...
I think we can talk about it now. You really
What are we going to talk about on Halloween?
Good question. I feel like there's a lot to talk. We never
actually did already talk about it technically.
There's also, do you want to, like, you could talk about it now and then release it during Halloween, or you can talk about it
we have our
during
special
Halloween.
guest Sean here. Sean's welcome, dude. Look, he's back. He's back and looking good.
Looking fucking great.
Little shaved haircut.
You know what I found out about Sean? He parks his car underneath a tree. Do you know what happens when you park your car underneath a tree?
You gotta get a bunch of plant cum on your car.
A bunch of plant cum.
Yeah, but then the inside of the car's not so hot.
Well, sure, right.
Yeah, that's why I park in the car.
But he's not driving it that
I don't have a
much.
choice.
Are you thinking that
where
far
I
ahead?
have to park where I live.
Hey,
is
come back. It's
under
like,
a
oh
tree.
god, if
So
this thing was hitting the sun
my
all day.
car's the outside of my car is disgusting at the moment.
Yeah, the whole top cover, like his back windshield, is just covered in like plant dirt.
But
the
like
whole thing.
I can't park anywhere else. So like, should it be cleaner? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a big deal. I really don't think that's a big
I don't think so either.
I didn't think it was a big deal until I was driving today. I was driving here and I looked out the back to like see, and I was like, ooh, that's not the best visibility.
That can't be good.
I was like, I can't see as well as I probably should.
Just get a plant cum rag, keep it in your car. Just like when you gotta do something, just wipe out the back window. You're
Right.
done.
Right.
Good to go.
All right, I'm kind of like dying to know what you want to talk about. Can we just do it and then
It was supposed to be the Halloween candy economy.
The economy of trading Halloween candy is what we're gonna talk about.
But we did actually do that last.
Yeah, we did kind
a
of.
little bit. Like we touched on it.
I was gonna say. I mean, like even our Halloween episodes tend to just digress. So
Yeah.
whatever. We can talk about it if you want. What's your favorite candy? What's the one that's untradeable?
Mine was Crunch Bars. Loved them.
Wow. Those used to be when I was younger. Those were my favorite for
They're
sure.
good.
They are good. But I got like bored of them. Like it's just
No, they are the
crunchy
same.
chocolate.
They're exact same every time.
Yeah.
Which I guess is a good thing with candy. You don't want it to be
Yeah,
too, too wildly different.
What do you,
I don't know.
What about you? What's an
my
untradeable
favorite Halloween
candy?
candy? Probably like Reese's Cup or something.
I feel like Reese's Cups are always like strong.
High
Yeah,
tier.
they're just so good, man.
I think top tier.
Yeah.
But I'm not a fan of like I don't like the extra peanut butter or none of that shit.
Yeah.
I want it exactly as it is. Also, I think I'm onto a conspiracy, which is that I think they are reducing the amount of fucking Oreo frosting in the cookies, and the double stuff has become the old fucking standard stuff.
Yeah, and you're paying extra for the
And
same
you're paying
thing.
extra, right? So, folks out there, if you want Oreos, get the double stuff for the standard Oreos. The triple stuff is now your new like half double stuff.
I don't know, man. The carrot cake Oreos, game changer. I was like,
I don't like.
You don't like carrot cake? Oh
Dude,
my god.
That sounds disgusting.
Have you had carrot cake before?
Yeah, I've had carrot cake.
Do you not like it?
Not really. It's not my favorite.
Oh my god, I love carrot cake. It doesn't taste like carrots.
It's not good. It's not gonna be good.
What?
Hot take.
You got to talk in the mic when you're talking.
I don't like.
You didn't want to admit
the
this.
double stuff Oreos.
I don't even really like
I don't
Oreos
like the
in
filling
general.
that much.
I'm addicted to
What
Oreos.
the fuck?
The regular Oreos are perfect.
Yep, I agree.
How it should
Double
be.
stuff.
No,
Double stuff.
I don't.
People-
I think the cream is the worst part of the Oreo.
I disagree.
That is shocking.
I agree.
Actually, well, there's only two parts, so
Well, yeah,
like
it's the
I guess
cookie and
it's
the cream, so you
by
gotta pick
default
one.
it's the worst part, I guess,
Yeah, 'cause
because
the
the
cookie's
cookies are
better.
really good.
There you go.
Also, I think you need an Oreo with milk.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
Dry
Dude.
Oreos, ugh.
It's so
Well,
different.
Yeah,
No,
it really is.
I've said it many times. There's like 3 foods that I can just eat unlimited amounts of. Oreos are one of them.
Really?
If I have Oreos and milk, I will finish as many Oreos as are in front of me.
Oh, with milk, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, with
Without
milk?
milk,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
without milk. Oreos are okay.
Once I'm done
They're-
the
I'll-
first
I'll eat
sleeve, I'm like,
4 or
okay,
5.
well,
They're
that's probably
not
enough.
bad. You can eat them. You're like, these are pretty good. But
Yeah,
with milk, it's like crack. It's like,
Yeah.
holy shit.
Yeah.
The game has changed.
yeah.
How long do you dunk your Oreos for?
Oh, see, I take a fork.
Right.
And I
You
know this.
this
you
is
seen
an
it?
it's an
Yeah.
online method.
Yeah.
Then you plug it into the
you
fucking.
just stab it
Into
into
the
the
fucking
cream?
frosting, yep.
Yeah.
I don't know when I first like heard about it. Probably like 5-6 years ago. But like I've been doing it ever since, and it's amazing.
I was a denier. I refused to do
Right,
it.
it looks stupid as shit.
I said whoever does that is disgracing Oreos. And then I tried it and I was like, oh no.
It's amazing.
This is really good.
Because what I like to do is I like to soak that fucker until the hull integrity is about to fail, and then that's when you fucking
you have to,
slam
you have to
it. You know
soak
what
it
I'm
to
saying?
like the critical point.
Yeah, right. The critical point.
I agree.
That's when you have enough milk and it's like, whoop, it's fucking good.
It's the cream is still cream, but the cookie is now a liquid.
Right.
So then,
it's so good.
What's worse, having an Oreo cookie that just totally falls apart, or one that's like not yet?
No.
soaked in?
If it falls apart, we're still good.
No.
Because that
Fall-
means that when
falling
you drink
apart-
that milk
Yeah,
afterwards,
at the very end, you're gonna
Yeah.
get that Oreo.
yeah, right.
No. For me, you've surpassed the critical level, and it's worse.
I wouldn't.
I
I
would rather
eat
have
it. Like
a-
I wouldn't fish it out.
I
if
would
it
rather
falls
have
apart.
a dunked Oreo that isn't like there's not enough than one that I've soaked for too long and now no longer has the correct cookie to cream ratio.
Right.
Right. It's a golden ratio for sure. I mean, I myself don't really enjoy Oreos. I mean, like I'll have them if they're there. If someone's like, "Here, like try this Oreo. Here's some milk." I'll be like, "Okay, I'll have some Oreos and milk."
Yeah.
But it's never something I'm at home. I'm
See,
like, "Yeah, we need to get some Oreos
I know
in
the
here."
perfect time to keep it in the milk though.
Hmm.
It's when the bubbles stop coming up.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Bubbles come up.
Genius.
Yeah. Bubbles come as it
Genius.
fills up. Yep.
Always
Wow.
come
Yeah.
up.
And when there's no more bubbles, it is saturated.
Yeah, it's amazing that I meet another man of culture with Oreos. Just
Right.
You know,
It's been
Oreos
so
I do
long.
like. You know, what other Oreos are really good are the reverse ones where like it's a vanilla cookie with
I
chocolate
disagree.
frosting.
I,
like
actually,
it.
I agree with Danny because I really like the chocolate frosting as
Yeah.
opposed to the
That's good.
the whatever frosting.
I've never had those.
Yeah, they're very good.
Are they just as good with milk?
Yeah,
Yep,
Wow.
for sure. Yeah.
Interesting.
it's a different flavor.
Yeah,
definitely a
It's
different flavor. Like,
that's what I like about Oreos. Like the different flavors
they
really do
call
taste
'em-
different.
They call them like inside out Oreos, and like they're not. They're marketing it like it's just a cosmetic change, but it's not.
No, not at all.
It's
No.
like a fudgy. It's almost like you ever had those like the little Keebler elves?
The
cookies?
Keebler Elf cookies. I haven't had
First
those in
off,
so
they're
long.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Which ones?
The
Are they
ones
like
where they're like
10,000?
the little
Yeah,
elves.
they're like the green. I think it's like
Yeah.
a green packaging. And they're like they have the elves that come out in the commercial.
It's like a
you know.
rectangle like cookie.
No, the cookie's like an elf.
I don't think
It's
I've ever
shaped
had
like
them.
an elf.
I don't think I've ever had
Wow,
them.
you never had
I don't
it.
know if I don't know what you're
They're
talking
really
about.
fucking good.
Okay, so wait, while we're on this topic of cookies, what is better, a Girl Scout cookie of any kind versus Oreos and milk?
Oreos and milk. I'm honestly gonna go Oreos and milk.
Oreos and milk.
Really?
The
However-
only Girl Scout cookie that I think is above.
Let's
I
hear
know
it.
what you're gonna say.
Yeah, of course.
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Thin Mints.
Then
Oh, that's not what I thought you were
He's
gonna say.
so smart.
Do you think he was going to say caramel delights?
Yes.
Caramel Delights are
That's a
okay.
Which is
runner-up.
why I'm
I
actually
like
saying no to the Oreos.
Wow. You
I'm
like
gonna
them
go
that
with
much?
the-
If
those
I have a
Caramel Delights,
choice
my God.
between Caramel Delights and Oreos with milk, I'm going with the Oreos and milk.
Wow.
Completely agree.
Bold.
Damn.
I'm
Best
not.
I mean,
Girl
like-
Scout cookie, Thin Mint,
I
100%.
listen. I love Thin Mints, but like Oreos with milk or Thin Mints, I'm taking the Oreos with milk.
Yeah. I honestly agree. I mean, like, being that Oreos aren't really my favorite thing, Thin Mints. Oh, dude,
Thin Mints are
I
so
will
good.
finish a sleeve of those.
Oh,
a full
easy,
sleeve. It's like a
easy.
sitting. You're
The,
just like,
the
"Oh, I'm just
worst
gonna
I
dump
ever
this
did
whole
was a
sleeve."
box and a half.
Oh,
One-
that's
impressive.
impressive.
Yeah,
Fucking
That's
one day, a
impressive.
box
Wow.
and a half. I didn't even know I was doing it.
Okay, in a day or just sitting.
Well, I didn't get up.
Oh, jeez.
I just kept going.
Wow. You ever check the like nutritional facts on a Thin Mint box?
I don't check the nutritional
I
facts
don't-
on shit. So.
I just
I,
live my life.
Yeah.
I think it's like 120 calories for 2 cookies. It's absurd.
Jesus Christ.
It's so much.
Sometimes I look at the numbers and I go, "Oh, that sounds bad for me."
Yeah. Next time you have them, check them out and just be like, I'm gonna keep eating them anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not gonna stop me.
When do you
but-
think was the most like unhealthy day of your life? Like as
Day?
far as like eating.
Oh, a Magfest
I
day
know.
for sure.
I know the exact day.
All right, let's hear it.
I mean, not
Yeah.
the date, but
I was gonna say Jesus.
we were. I was at a LAN party at my friend Brandon's house. I had nothing but Doritos, Mountain Dew, and Tasty Cakes for like 24 hours. And so it was we started on like a fucking Friday night. It was Saturday night. We're like, okay, that was 24 hours. We're probably all tired. And we're like, yeah, we're kind of tired, but I'm not really feeling great. And we can just keep going because it's Sunday tomorrow. So then we went again. So it's like a fucking like 36-hour marathon. I've had nothing healthy. And then I started throwing up and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go home.
Yeah, it was
At the
pretty
time,
bad.
we lived down the street. So it was like, I just left my shit there.
Mine
for,
also involves
the day.
Mountain Dew.
Oh, really?
It was middle school.
That shit'll fuck you up.
Halo 3 Game Fuel. I drank an entire case in one day while playing.
Halo 3 Game Fuel.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
the
it's
hell
great.
is that?
That's so good.
Gamer crack?
Pretty much, dude. It's
One
like
case
amazing.
of soda?
Is it? Yeah. Is it like just soda?
I drank the whole case of soda sitting there one day.
I've done worse.
Really?
Jeez.
Let's hear it.
So, I mean, there's a few things, right? Like, Pretty recently, actually, I went like 48 hours without really eating. So that's pretty unhealthy.
Just a
in
casual
itself.
fast.
Like, yeah, like I went out to lunch, and then I forgot to eat the next day. I was like, oh, that probably wasn't good.
Forgetting to eat, totally a thing.
Yeah, all the time.
Totally a thing.
All the
Especially
time.
in the morning. I mean, you get up and you're just like,
yeah.
it's not the
in the
first
morning,
thing that
and I
crosses
did
your
it-
or
mind.
I
even
did it
like
again
dinner.
until,
Like
like,
you're playing a
9.
game with somebody. You're playing a game with somebody. You're like, I should probably like get off and go get dinner, and then something exciting starts, and you're like,
Well,
well,
can't
I'm
go
gonna stick
now.
around for this. Suddenly, it's 9:30. You're like, everything's closed. I could get some shit, or I could just go to bed.
I'm gonna get some shit.
Dude,
Yeah.
sleep is great food.
What?
If you fall asleep,
oh,
you're
yeah.
not hungry.
Right.
That's true.
You just go,
It's like, wait a
I'm
minute.
pretty hungry. I'll just sleep. We'll be fine.
Yeah, right.
Damn.
I'll eat in the morning.
So what's your so that was your worst day? You just didn't eat for 48 hours? Or, I mean, I was thinking more so you just ate.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Junk
gluttonous.
food.
Like
Yeah.
not like
yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. Like, that's unhealthy, but that's not like the worst I've ever eaten. I don't, off the top of my head, I've had some like probably like 7,000, 8,000 calorie days of just
Holy
like
shit.
yeah.
I've definitely never had like that much food. I mean, even the worst combination of all foods would have been like waking up and having some type of like really sugary cereal and then skipping lunch and then just eating a huge dinner of just like junk food. Like just chips from like 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. You know, you're not like eating the whole bag right away. but you're
7
just like,
hours of chips.
yeah, you just, you're like, I feel a little bit hungry. Let me eat some chips. And then you're like, I don't need those anymore. And then it comes back and you eat more chips and you're fine.
I'm not a big chip guy.
Neither am I.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm not either.
I can live without chips.
I mean, I definitely could live without them, but like, if I'm sitting there doing nothing, I'm just like, have a bag of chips with me. And I
Yeah.
would eat those.
I'm actually not a snacker at all.
Neither am I.
Like
I'm like the kind
Yeah,
of
I'm
guy,
not really either.
One
I'm a
huge
fucking full meal.
I really
Yeah.
like every day.
yeah.
I like one stupid fucking meal, and then like one like smaller meal that's just okay.
I agree.
That's
I think
what I
2
like.
meals is where I sit at.
I usually do
Pretty good.
2 big ass meals a day.
I'll have one
That's about
like
it.
medium sized meal and then just like a,
Every once in a while, I get a
the
snack.
rest of the calories.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll do like tea and like a fucking like breakfast bar for breakfast, and then I won't eat till dinner.
Wow. I have a friend who will drink 2 liters of soda every day.
I can do that.
Like a full 2
I've-
liter, but every day.
No, that's bad.
He's been doing this for like months. Like he'll go for like a month without any soda and then just go back into a 2 liter bottle of Dr. Pepper every day.
Is
I'm
Dr. Pepper
highly
soda
addicted.
Of choice?
Yeah, so actually it's kind of my fault too because he used to drink like just Coke, which by the way, he only drinks diet soda. All of
No,
the soda.
some people are like that. Where like they like the taste of diet soda.
Diet soda
Oh,
sucks,
I
too.
Some people
totally
think it's
agree.
better. I agree.
I think
I'm-
diet soda, any kind of diet soda, it has a weird like
Aftertaste.
kick to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gross.
It's like a chemical
Yes.
aftertaste.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
gross.
It's called fake sweetener. That's what you're tasting.
Well, yeah, but like,
And he loves it.
fucking nasty.
He loves
I
it.
think.
He likes it better than regular, and this way he's not consuming any sugar.
Yeah, go
So
fuck yourself.
like if I have the choice between Diet Coke and Heat Stroke, it's a tough choice. I'll probably drink half the Diet Coke, but like,
And risk it.
I'm not gonna enjoy it.
You know what also sucks is Tab soda. You ever have Tab?
Tab?
Tab.
I don't know
Fucking
what you
sucks.
mean.
All it is Coke without sugar.
Ew.
That sounds
know.
terrible.
That's like alcohol. Do you ever think of like, you know what weird thing crossed my mind? So there was like a football advertisement that was like free beer for a year. I was like, damn, free beer for a year. I want that. I like looked it up and it's like, Budweiser's non-alcoholic promotion series for free beer for a year. And I'm like,
right.
non-alcoholic beer for
I
a
will
year?
stand by. I like beer.
Me too.
I'm a fan of beer. That said, I've never drank a beer and enjoyed it more than if I had just had a soda. I drink beer because I want to like get a little
drunk.
tipsy, get
Yeah.
drunk. Alcohol does not taste good.
Right.
No.
I mean, there's ways to get around it, of course, but
Yeah.
like
You can-
obviously
you can sugarcoat it.
non-alcoholic beer is for alcoholics because they have a problem drinking
Right.
too
Right.
much beer, so
Right.
they have to wean off of it. They're just advertising it as free beer. I was like, this is fucked. I'm like,
Yeah.
I've been misled. So I was a little upset about that.
Yeah, no, I don't like that shit. Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I like to stick to liquor because like you don't feel full, which I hate about beer.
Right.
And it gets the job done, you know.
Yeah. The thing that I like about beer is it lets me like drink just enough that I can like totally measure my drunkenness out. Like I can drink half of a beer and be like, okay, I can finish the rest of this. Or instead of being like, take a shot and you go,
That was
think
the
that
one
was
that
one
pushed
to-
me over.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that was the one that'll do it.
Right.
I think
So-
the way Sam drinks is like some of the most enjoyable content. Like it's great. Like
Why does he drink?
Have you
he'll
seen
have,
him?
Like, he'll have like no. Danny, he goes hard, right? Sam is just like he'll have 2 or 3 and be like, I'm good.
He likes to get those flavor
That's
profiles,
respectable.
you
And then,
know.
like,
Yeah.
Dude, the best is I've said it before, I'll say it again. One of the most enjoyable experiences for me when you guys are when everyone's drinking is Sam will just be quiet for like 10, 15 minutes. He hasn't said anything. And then all of a sudden there's a break and he'll just look me dead in the eyes and go, Sean, I'm drunk.
I'll do it to him all the time. We'll just all be talking, we're drinking beers, whatever it is, and like the conversation breaks up and we're like getting up from the table and I'm like, I like stand up. You know when you stand up and you're like, yeah, I'm drunk. Okay.
Oh yeah. When like you move in a certain way, like what the
But
whoa,
like
whoa,
Sam,
whoa.
Sam just like he gets to his point and then coast.
Right.
He's like, this is where I want to be
See,
and this is where I'm going to stay.
That's not how he is at all.
No, that's
It's
the opposite
amazing.
of Denny.
No.
I mean,
Danny is super like he's really good with drinking up until he hits like the critical point.
Right.
Right.
Just like
he's
the
like
Oreos.
he's drinking. He's like having
Yeah,
a good
right,
time.
yeah,
Or he loses
Yeah.
his structural
The whole integrity,
integrity.
He loses his structural integrity.
Right.
It becomes like a monster.
Yeah.
It goes from like he's drinking beers, he's having a good time. He gets drunk. At this point, it goes one or two ways. He stops drinking and has a good time, and it's fine. Or somebody calls him a pussy and hands him a drink, and
Yeah.
he goes, "Oh."
Drinks the whole thing.
And if that happens twice, now he's the one calling himself a pussy.
right. Right.
Like it's
yeah.
no longer somebody is like people are like, okay, maybe you should stop, dude. He's like, no, fuck off. I'm doing what I'm doing. I want to drink. And he drinks like half a fucking handle of like Jack Daniels, and you're like, Danny, no. What
Yeah.
are you doing?
Did he come back?
Yeah. Well,
I'm glad I don't drink often though. That's a good thing.
yeah,
Like if I drank often, I'd have a huge problem.
I think so.
Yeah.
We all agree.
Like
I'm glad we can acknowledge
Yeah,
that.
right. Like, cause I mean, I drank last night, but before that, I hadn't had a drink in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, ever since COVID, like, I didn't really drink.
I
Because
haven't gotten
drinking alone is kind of fucking lame.
No,
so
I totally agree.
It's like I'm not gonna have a drink now.
But you guys literally just don't live alone. So
Yeah, but then
Yeah, but like
It's just not-
if you're alone in your room, even if there's other people in the house, if
No,
you're like,
yeah. I
I'm
just-
going
I-
to have a beer. It's like
Yeah.
you're drinking alone, dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
no. I
Poor
I
fuck.
meant it more as like you guys always, if the opportunity arises, like you can just be like, hey boys, let's go. Like the options
yeah, we could.
there.
Yeah, but I'd never feel like it.
Neither do I.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
Danny's
blame
not
you.
much
I'm
of an
just saying,
instinct.
like,
I'm not, like,
it's the other
is-
two
it
roommates
is
who
an
are like,
option.
come on, guys, let's all have a beer.
Right.
And me and Danny are just like,
It
and
depends.
even if Danny's on board, it's usually still a
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, true.
It depends. It depends what's going on. Like I'll drink at an event or something, or
I totally
like,
agree.
a planned thing, but like like spur of the moment, I'm probably not gonna drink too much.
Yeah, I was
I
thinking
feel like
like
I gotta plan it. Sorry.
sorry, it's okay. Going off of like what Sean was saying before is like I hate getting too drunk. Like I've been too drunk a few times, and I've always looked back as like that was really shit. Like it just makes so much of the time just like not worth.
Yeah.
Whereas if you can balance out that like you're feeling drunk but you're not crossing that line, it's perfect the whole time. That's what I like
See,
to
I
find
actually-
and go on.
I actually prefer the you're fucking hammered, stupid, but like right before you're gonna throw up. I think that's the best point to be drunk.
That's terrible. Right before
Yeah,
you're
I
about to throw up.
Sam
Yeah, but you're
fucking hates
nauseous,
that.
right?
No, before you're even nauseous. Like, in my eyes, a good night is you wake up the next morning feeling like absolute dog shit, but you didn't throw up,
Yeah.
and you might feel like it in the morning, but like,
Yeah, I would agree because there's been times where like I mean my goal typically that's what also I was going to mention is like you mentioned saying like if you drink a little bit it's like whatever, like having one beer it's kind of like I would only have one beer if it was celebratory, whereas most of the time if I drink alcohol I'd like to get drunk. I'm not trying to just drink and then not get drunk, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
really-
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Right. So going along with Tyler, it's like, of course, the whole point for me is to like get to that point where I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty fucking drunk right now, but I never want to cross the line of like, I feel fucking nauseous, because then that just ruins
right.
it.
But I think getting right to the end.
Yeah, it's hard, but you got to
No,
figure.
it's like almost impossible. Like to actually get it perfect. Like you're either gonna be like, or you're still there and you're still having a good time, but like you're just kind of drunk. Like you can still walk fine. You can still like, you're still in your right mind, I guess is a good way to put it. And that's good. That's fun.
Right.
But like pushing it a step further where you're just fucking like gone, that's so fun. But it's also like
It's dangerous.
it's dangerous because you're right at the edge. Like if you're there and somebody's like shots, you're fucked. It's
Yeah.
over. Because
Right. If somebody else rallies, then
first
you're
off,
fucked.
100% of the time you're gonna say yes.
Yeah.
If you're already at that point where you're just like
Fuck it.
fucked off, you're like you're already just drunk as shit.
Yeah,
you
that's
don't
the line.
care anymore.
The line you hear in your head, fuck it.
Right.
Yeah,
the
right,
line
yeah.
is gone. If somebody breaks out like they're like tequila shots all around, you hear that and you're just like, I'm in. You're not like, oh, I'm gonna fucking.
Yeah, because everything
I'm
you're saying
fucked
right
if
now
I
is
drink
not what's
this.
being considered when you're drunk.
You got to be
course not.
confident.
This is all
Of course
about
not.
like, hey, you know what would have been nice if I had done this.
Well, that's why like you got to get there with everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to be on the same drunk level as everybody else. Where like you get to the end of the night and no one wants to drink anymore because everybody's already drunk.
Yeah.
At this point, you're not going out of the way to get like more. But if somebody does, that's the problem. That's
Yeah.
when you get like a, you know, you're on the toilet.
So yeah, I think I prefer that because the next morning I'm usually not hungover.
You prefer puking
Yes.
to being hungover?
100%.
I
Yeah.
disagree.
Every time.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
me personally, I have
totally
like
disagree.
I have no personal vendetta with throwing up. In fact, I know some people are like, yeah, I've never thrown up.
Oh.
They like don't throw up for like
Oh.
10 years. It's like what the? They're like, yeah, I can't do it. It's just
Yeah.
like, okay.
Hey, we on a fucking bad.
Congrats.
Yeah, congrats.
But I think
Good
most
for
of
you,
the
dude.
time when throwing up because you're drunk, if you do it then like before you go to sleep and you just purge all of that extra alcohol out of your body, you go to sleep and you wake up and you're like, I can think. I can move. You
Right.
know, you don't wake up where like all of the alcohol's just been like potently brewing up in your system. You wake up and you're like, this is death.
Yeah, right.
This is death.
See, that's why I really like drinking Friday or Saturday.
Because you can recover.
Because you get a recovery day.
Right.
See, from
And
what
right,
I can
I'm happy
gather-
if I don't need a recovery day. Like if
Yeah.
like Friday I drank, Saturday
I don't know.
have to
I
fucking
almost
recover.
like the recovery day.
I like recovery hours where I'm like my first 3 hours of the morning were spent recovering.
Yeah,
But you know, at some point I want my day back.
yeah,
At some point, definitely I want to like do things.
right.
But I don't know. I mean, I've heard lots of horror stories of when you get old that being hungover is like magnitudes worse as you get older. Can
Oh,
you
I'm sure.
can you vouch for that being
Yeah, right. Being the oldest,
so old?
such an ancient person.
Being
Being
a
an
dinosaur.
elderly man, Danny.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's it is what it is.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't heard of that really, but I'm sure it's
I
real.
have heard of that. It's.
all your fucking aches and pains.
I feel
and-
like
Yeah.
it has to happen to you once before you can really
Yeah. Before
kind
you
of
can
say
tell.
that's an issue.
right.
Like, I feel like that's a lot of things with like getting older. It's like something has to happen to you before you can be like, I see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Like, you gotta wake up and like have the back pain and be like, ah. And you're like,
shit.
Yeah.
oh, now I get it.
right.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm starting to feel it. I wake up and I'm like, ooh, things aren't exactly in place.
Gotta
Hold
do a
on.
little-
A little-
A little adjusting. Yeah.
yeah.
Doing some stretches. I heard that's pretty good when you're, getting old and creaky. You start doing stretches. I haven't done that yet.
I
I'm
just
not doing
cracked my
stretches.
back.
No, I
It's
haven't
probably
really.
not the
I don't
best
really
shot.
stretch when I wake up or anything.
No.
I hear you
neither.
should. It's good for blood flow or something.
Yeah, I heard that too, but what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nah,
I
I'm
guess,
good.
yeah. Nah, forget it.
Yeah, I stretch out of bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wake up and do a big.
I do that.
Dude, that's like, I don't know. There's so few things that feel better than that. Like I think cleaning your ears with ear tips or with Q-tips is like one of the best things
Oh, it's
ever.
fucking I do it all the time. I know
You're
you're
like-
not supposed to.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best.
I feel like
so
certain,
good,
So
though.
good.
certain people's ears deal pretty poorly with it. It jams the earwax in there. I don't think I have one of those ears.
No,
I
I
think
actually
mine-
think I have like supersonic hearing,
I
man.
think mine get real clean. I don't know. I just, you get out of the shower, you clean them with Q-tips. You're like,
Oh yeah, out of the shower is the best because then you get all of it. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
you
Right.
get all the
Yeah.
water too. Your ears are
Right.
nice and dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I have one of those ears where, like, if I do it the wrong way, like, it's gonna just shove it back, and then I'm like, ah, fuck. And I can't hear out of this ear, and then I'm doing this ear, like,
Jeez.
ah, fuck. And then, like, one time I actually did make myself go deaf because I did that, And
Did
I
you
had
go to
to
the
like,
doctor?
No, I had to go to like some clinic. I'm like, hey, can you flush my fucking ears? Because I guess I don't know what I'm doing at this age of 23. I think it was like, I'm not cleaning these fucking ears right. So
But yeah, that and like waking up in the morning, you just give it the, one of those.
yeah,
It's quality. It's quality stuff.
I think it's quality. Honestly, I think it's quality on a day where you don't have to do anything, and it sucks on a day where you have to do something.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
when you
my
wake up
God,
and you're
I
like,
know.
oh, here I fucking go.
Yeah.
You're like, that's not a good feeling. That's like, I got to get out of bed and do shit. This sucks. In a morning where there's nothing to do, you just like wake up. You're like, oh, yeah, I'm free.
yeah, it's the best.
That's always been so weird for me. Like on mornings back in like high school, and you'd have to wake up for school, and you wake up and you're like, you're so close to like falling back asleep, and you're like, fuck, we'll get up. Okay, fine.
I fell asleep.
But-
I fell asleep again all the time.
Whenever I would be on like a
I'd sleep on
weekend,
the bus.
you what?
I'd sleep on the bus.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I would like wake up and be like, all right, fine, we'll fucking get ready. But when it was the weekend, I would wake up and be like,
Yeah,
and then I'd lay there for like
feeling.
5 minutes.
yeah,
I'd be like,
Dude,
no,
I
no.
lay in bed in the morning on weekends for like an hour. I
No,
don't
see,
give a
that was the
shit.
difference. Is I would
Yeah.
only lay in there for like 5 minutes, and then I was like, well, I guess we better do something. I'm not
Right.
just gonna lay here all day. And then I'd get out of bed. But nowadays, I spend like at least 20 minutes, 30 minutes in bed after I wake up. Feels good.
My-
On a weekend, man, I'm not getting out really unless like there is actually
All
something
day.
to do. And then it's like eventually like, all right, so fucking 1 o'clock, I'll play a game or something.
The sun's going down. Time to get up.
yeah, right, yeah.
I think my funniest story for like falling back to sleep was, so I was really like my sleep schedule was horrible in high school. I was getting like 4 hours.
Yeah, probably you and like 60% of high
Yeah,
schoolers.
yeah. I was getting like 4 hours a night and then like 10 hours on the weekend to like make up for it. One time though, I was like real tired. I don't remember what happened, but I fell asleep. So like, there's many times I fell asleep again and like was late, but I fell asleep like in the bathroom on the floor, waiting for the shower to warm up.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's pretty
God,
bad.
yeah, that was
damn.
the worst.
Jesus.
Like I mean like.
Just like, I'm going to
Turn-
take a seat real quick.
Dude, I
Yeah.
turned the
Water to get
shower.
warm.
I think I turned the shower on and like sat on the toilet seat just to like, because I was so tired. I was like, nope,
Never made it to
nope,
the shower.
dude. I mean, like towel as a blanket. Like we were.
Imagine having like
It was
a nice soft like bath mat that
Uh-huh.
you get out on. You're
Yeah.
like, oh wow, this is
I
pretty
did.
soft.
Oh,
dude.
it was great, dude. It was so good.
The only time I've slept on a bathroom floor was long time ago when I was like in a hotel with my friends and their parents. We were like, I must have been like in 3rd grade, maybe 4th grade. I was pretty young. And their dad like snores really badly. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard Sean snore, but it's like 3 times as bad as that. It's loud. It like can vibrate walls if it's appropriate.
Yeah.
And so I heard this and I was like, oh fuck, there's no chance I sleep tonight unless I can like get away from this noise. And I ended up like going into like a bathroom that was just like their hotel room had like a regular bathroom and then like a shower and bath area. And I slept like in there with both doors closed. And I was like, some silence, some peace and quiet. Because I don't know, even back then I just couldn't deal well with like snoring,
I
Yeah.
can't deal with it.
especially when it's loud. It's just so terrible.
I can't
Yeah.
deal with it at all.
Really?
Yeah.
My dad
I can't.
vibrates the house.
Really?
Like, you can feel his snoring. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
my dad used to. Yeah, my dad's like that too. Like it's
Yeah.
really fucking bad. I'm
And
pretty bad too. I
I've-
didn't actually know you snored.
Yeah, so I've heard many different things. I've heard, oh, it's not that bad. I've heard it's the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life. I don't know what to believe. I know I snore, but I never know how bad.
All right. We've all slept at MagFest in the same room, so I'd rate you under Danny.
yes,
for sure.
I agree. I'd rate Sean under Danny too.
You can hear you, but yours is like a breathing snore, and his is like a heavy snore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I kind of gauged myself at, right? Like, I was like, people would say I was really, really bad, and then other people would say it's not that bad. So I kind of feel it either
I
Kinda
think you're
depends.
very in the middle.
Yeah.
it either kind of
Like-
depends,
like-
or it's like if snoring bothers you, you probably aren't going to be happy. If snoring doesn't usually bother you, I don't think
You're
I'm
gonna
bad
be
enough.
totally fine with
I
it.
don't.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad enough to like.
You're not gonna wake up in the morning and be like, God damn. You're gonna be
Yeah,
like-
yeah,
You're gonna be like,
yeah, he made noise.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a good point to like say that Sean's like right below Danny because Sean snores like it sounds like the snoring is coming from his mouth, whereas Danny's snoring is
Oh,
coming
it's
from
from-
his chest.
yeah, it's
You know,
like-
it's a real.
His stomach.
Yeah, yeah,
It's,
it's
like
like a
guttural, like.
Yeah, it's like a bear growl.
Yeah.
Dude, I sleep so deeply that like even Danny's snoring doesn't bother me.
Wow.
Like
see,
at
once
all.
I'm asleep, I'm fucking out.
I'm usually good. Me
There's
too.
no
yeah,
stop.
yeah.
Like nothing. Pretty much nothing short of like something like blowing up is gonna wake me up.
Yeah, I agree.
But,
I'm
like-
the same way.
Getting there is tough for me. It's used to be like back in like high school. I could fall asleep like that for any reason. Like just
Wow.
on the even on the bus every morning. I get on the bus. Like sometimes people are fucking talking. Sometimes people are quiet. But like you're on a bus, you're bumping around. It's
There's general noise
every
in the
single
air.
morning.
Yeah.
I'd slam my head against the window, right asleep.
Wow.
Every morning.
You sure you didn't knock yourself out? Just like,
I was whamming my head against the
Yeah,
window.
right.
Yeah.
that'd be funny.
No, but I used to be able to fall asleep really easily, and I fall asleep on like subways, trains before.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like it's tough.
Damn.
Planes actually, I can still fall asleep
I've always
on
been good
planes.
with like falling asleep. I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, as
it
long as
doesn't really
something's
matter.
not like obnoxiously, like in your face, I'm fine.
I've mentioned
sleep
it.
through
Yeah, I've mentioned it before. It's like pretty much anything but silence. I'm good with. I actually like prefer noise.
I like fan noises. I don't like.
Yeah, they're great.
I enjoy the
people
city
noises.
noises. Like I
yeah,
don't know,
you
just
said
something
that.
about it is like
I think
nice
city
and,
noises.
like,
Yeah,
okay, I can
so
fall
it's
asleep
nice
to
and
this.
calming.
Yeah, except for when those fucking bitches with the fucking bikes go down the street.
Oh,
They're raring and tearing.
Yeah, that
no,
always
like
wakes
I
me
can
up.
I can sleep with my window open and not
Yeah.
be upset.
Mm-hmm.
Like every once in a while, again, you'll have like somebody on a motorcycle like
Rip
swing
their
by who's,
motorcycle,
like,
yeah.
You know, at fucking 2 a.m. they're doing 100 on Delaware Avenue,
Yeah,
and you're like, Jesus Christ, like.
That was a bit much.
Right, like, who you trying to impress, buddy? It's 2 a.m. No one's up.
Maybe they're just trying to wake themselves up. You know, they're a sleepy driver and they don't want to crash, so they gotta, you
Yeah,
know,
that
be
makes
nice
sense.
and loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, go faster.
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you're sleepy.
that's-
Cities,
He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
cities, fans, rain. Rain
Oh,
is a-
rain's
Oh.
fantastic.
Sleepy driving, big pet peeve of mine now.
Sleepy
I
driving.
had a horror story. I'm done with it.
It's
Is
really.
that yeah.
Yeah,
I-
I told you
go
guys,
ahead,
but
yeah.
briefly, it was I play on the club volleyball team, which obviously during COVID is no longer a thing really. But I drove. It was like an hour and a half ish to a volleyball tournament. We played 3 games, so like 9 matches pretty much. And I was driving home, and the heat was on. I was exhausted, and somebody put on like we were talking about all the different types of music we liked, and somebody's like, "Oh, I listened to this," and it was country music. So it's, dude, I'm super
recipe.
tired from volleyball.
The recipe.
The heat's on. I'm nice and cozy, and then this soothing country man comes on, and it was too much.
Sleep is great.
Yeah,
Let's
And
all
so
go to sleep.
I like dozed off a little and like snapped awake, like drifting off the road like at a sign, and I was like, holy shit, and like whipped back on the road. And like if it was just me, that's one thing, but I had 3 other dudes in the car. Like
Right.
Yeah.
I had my buddies with me. Like that. So since then I've been like
Yeah. They say, I think we talked about it before, because I know it's definitely come up on here. But like sleepy driving is like one of the number 1 causes of accidents.
Oh yeah, they say it's like almost as bad as like being drunk.
Being
and
drunk.
driving.
Yeah. That's, I had like a rant about the whole sleep thing on a previous podcast, but like that's exactly what I had said before, was that lack of sleep is like the equivalent of being drunk at a certain point.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. I remember when I worked for a car dealership one time. I used to be like the driver for the dealership to like drive customers around, and like it was always easy for me to like stay awake when there was someone in the car, because like either we talked or I was like just definitely conscious that they were there. But like there'd be times where like I would just have to drive out and like get a car part and come back, and if it were like 8 a.m, I'd be like coming back. Or usually it'd be like right after rush hour. You know, there's not a lot of cars. You just kind of putzing down the road.
Right, you're on autopilot.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
just like,
Super autopilot. You just drive and you're like, whatever. I came up to a light and I'm like, just turned red. I'm going to take a quick nap. And just literally just went like, and just fucking slept at the light. And I was like, I woke back up and the light was still red. I'm like, that felt good. That was worth it. That was worth it.
Enough
like-
sleep for me.
Yeah. It was terrible. I was.
you
it
the guy
shocked
pulled up
me.
next to you. She's like,
What the fuck?
She's seen worse on that road.
Yeah.
That's a bad road.
I was saying. So you said like if there's a passenger, you're good. So in my story, all 3 of the other
They
dudes
fell
fell
asleep.
asleep too,
Oh,
or like were
jeez.
falling asleep
Oh.
at least.
Okay.
So that was rough.
Question for road trips. Are the people in the car, or is like, it doesn't have to be all of them, but is anyone like personally responsible for keeping the driver awake? Or do you think it's like
Passenger.
I think
Driver-
the passenger should be awake and
the shotgun guy?
I think whoever takes shotgun has the responsibility to be awake and keep the driver kind of like company and
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're in the back seat sleeping,
if
totally
you're in the
good.
back seat,
you're in the back. Yeah, knockout.
agree.
It doesn't matter.
totally agree.
But if
Well, yeah,
you
what can
get
you-
shotgun, it's a privilege. It comes with responsibilities.
Yep.
You're co-pilot.
Yeah.
You're aux sometimes, and you have to stay awake.
And sometimes navigation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an
That's
important
what I
one.
meant by co-pilot.
Oh, gotcha.
Co-pilot's navigation.
You know what's
Yeah.
hard for me? Telling somebody whose music I just don't like that I fucking hate their taste in music.
That's hard for you?
It's really hard for me.
Wow.
Because I feel like it's offending. Like, because when you like music, it's like kind of like personal. You know
Right,
what
you're
I
like
mean?
passionate about it.
It's like
usually.
your thing. So like if you're listening to it and you're like, bro, this sucks dick. Turn this shit off. Like it comes off as mean, I think.
Well, yeah, when you phrase it like that, it probably does.
Just yeah. There's been multiple times where I'm
Wow, I
like,
can't believe you listen to this shit, idiot. Turn it off.
Just be like, hey, it's not my style.
Yeah, you can
That's
just be
not
like,
a fact.
do you like this music? No. Do you
Not
like this
really.
music? Not really. That's okay.
Well, I mean, you kind of know, like, if like Troy's driving, for example, you
Oh,
like get
Jesus,
ready. You know what I'm
Troy's
saying?
driving.
Just get ready.
Yep, you
Bring
have
the
to
fucking
mentally
earplugs and
prepare
shit. Yeah,
because
right.
like there's no choice.
How do you feel?
Hey guys, have you heard these same 3 songs by Little Uzi?
I know. It's like, Jesus.
Yes, Troy, I have.
Hey, he's
You
Put 'em
played
on
them.
again.
he's listening to different music now. He's on the MGK grind. He's been listening to a lot of him. He's branching
Oh,
out.
Yeah.
I've had that. I've had the whole album on repeat. I won't lie.
Well,
I
there
haven't
you
even
go.
listened to it.
I haven't listened to it either, to be honest.
It's just like it's like a punk rock album, like
Travis Barker.
Travis
is that his
Barker
name?
on drums. Yeah,
Yeah.
from Blink 182.
Yeah, so it's got a more
Yeah.
an oldie style to
It's-
it, you know, like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
that's
punk rock.
the style that I vibe.
I don't know.
with.
Isn't there
I've,
Fair-
I've been
a
real.
Fairmore
I've been
song
down
in
a
it?
real indie rabbit hole.
Cover, right?
I like
yes.
indie stuff a little bit.
Indie rock and like
Indie rock's good.
psychedelic kind of stuff.
Like, what do you mean by psychedelic? Like Grateful Dead, or
No, not really. I
what
can't
is
think of any- I
psychedelic
can't
if
think of
not
anything-
Grateful
like,
Dead?
I haven't actually listened to like any Grateful Dead.
Oh,
I'm not a big fan. Like,
I
It's
you know
okay.
what?
get there.
I'm gonna listen to them
world.
because like they're one of those things where like I've always heard about them,
Mhm.
never listened to them.
wow. I mean, like, I've heard a few songs here and there, but like, I definitely don't like go out of my way to listen to them.
Yeah, me neither.
Most
I
of the
couldn't name a
time-
single one.
Wow. I mean, I definitely can't off the top of my head, but when I hear them, I recognize them. But that's just because I quite never listen to them. I just have. I think most of my music taste is 80s based, like a lot of Electric
80s
Light
fan.
Electric Light Orchestra.
Oh, Electric Light Orchestra.
Yeah, they're
is
really
awesome.
good.
They will.
Yeah.
I feel like their music, or his music, I should say, is just like timeless. Like, it is so. No matter when you listen to it, whether it was in the '80s or whether it's now, it just is so. It's still so good.
Mm-hmm.
And just that whole genre, like, you know, the Eagles, the whole '80s
Eagles
era.
are really good.
What did they make? Eagles song.
Hotel California,
Yeah.
or not Hotel
That's all I
California.
know.
What's the hotel song? Great, and I'm gonna blank on
That
it.
is California.
It is no Hotel California. I thought was Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I think it might be. We suck.
Yeah,
No,
we do
no,
suck.
no. That must be a cover.
Why don't we just use our-
Nope.
Yeah,
I mean-
why don't we use our devices that
I
tell
got
us?
it. I got it.
Our infinite knowledge pocket.
The
device.
infinite knowledge pocket, baby. But yeah, what about what are they called?
Yeah, Hotel California.
It is Hotel California.
Yeah.
Take It Easy
Take
is the
It
song I
Easy.
listen to.
Life in the Fast Lane. Yeah, you know, just a bunch of old classic rock songs.
Yeah.
That's a lot of what I listen to at the moment.
What are you? What do you listen to?
Well,
MGK.
I've recently had the MGK album on repeat. As
That's
I
right, you
said,
did say that,
But
yeah.
also, what's some other stuff I've been listening to? I listen to some, like, a little bit of rap, a little bit of pop. Like, it's just like I dabble in everything. But if I was to like pick a genre that I like the most, it's probably like the punk rock. Like, I like a lot of like Green Day, Blink 182,
Oh,
the
yeah,
new
hell
MGK
yeah.
album.
Hell yeah.
Offspring.
The Offspring is
I
pretty
might
similar
know
to
their
them.
songs. But
Yeah,
I
you
don't-
probably
like,
do.
I don't know too much
I'm
about.
a big Offspring fan.
I
you know,
constantly have
uh,
music playing, but I never look into what I'm listening to, so I
Mhm.
don't actually know all that much.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, where you just like you listen to a genre, but you're not like watching every song,
Yeah,
or looking up
exactly.
lyrics or anything.
See, I feel like I'm that with music in general. Where like I don't really look into bands and I don't really look into like what they're doing or who they are. I just listen to like their songs, and if I like the song, I like the song. I'll listen to it.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, like with random songs, I'm definitely the same way. But like when an artist that I know or already like comes out with something, that's when I'll just like listen to the whole album really closely.
Yeah.
But a lot of the people in this playlist that I always listen to are like, you know, the Eagles, Daryl Hall and the Oats.
Oh,
Oh
my
my
Notes is
God,
great.
yeah.
Yeah, Elton John, Stevie Wonder, Fleetwood Mac, Steve Miller Band.
Still standing. Elton
Steve
John,
Miller
that's a-
Band.
Yeah,
Oh god damn it! What's the song?
Jet Airliner.
That's not the one I'm thinking of. There's another one they have that I like.
There's probably another big one. Queen's in here. Seals and Crofts. Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin is so sick.
I
Yeah.
love Led Zeppelin.
I started listening to them when I go to the gym now, and I'm like, this is a good pick. This is a good
Led
idea.
Zeppelin, like they're one of those bands. Well, I mean, I guess he's not. He's part of the band, whatever. You know what I mean? He's one of those artists I feel like makes a lot of like movie soundtracks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I feel like there's like a few artists out there that make very good like very particular kind of like movie sounding soundtracks.
like
Yeah.
AC/DC.
AC/DC.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Like-
it's weird to think about that like a lot of those songs came out without like a reference to like,
Right.
a movie or something. It's so
Right.
weird
I
for us
was-
at least. But
yeah.
like that actually did just come out normally. And like Back in Black, for example.
Yep.
Like I can't not think of Iron Man or something. You know.
I always think of. It's funny you say that with Iron Man because I always think of Thor Ragnarok with Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
my
Immigrant
God.
song. Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
Which is a song based on Lord of the Rings.
right.
At least
It's
part
just-
of it.
Is it? I thought it was just Nordic.
No, they talk about Lord of the Rings like pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, distinctly.
Oh.
Like here, I can bring up the lyrics.
But it's funny. It's so cool that like they had made such good music for like a kick-ass badass scene, and then there was nothing for that. They were just like, yeah, let's just make it sick, and then it just sat there until it got put into a movie
Yeah.
and got put onto big screen.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird how those always work out.
It is. And they're still so popular too.
Yeah.
Like imagine that, like from the '80s, like these people still listen to your fucking music. Like imagine the check that they still get. Like somebody in.
I bet you it's shit. I bet you the
38 cents.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's that
Maybe.
low. I think mainly the money would come from a new movie signing it into their movie.
Yeah.
You know, like they have to re-sign in to get it on their track.
Yeah.
But I think general plays probably don't make that much because the contracts back then were definitely much smaller than they are now. Not like hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, no way.
Right.
That wouldn't be right. You know what I was thinking of the other day? Have you seen all the flack that Joe Rogan's getting about his podcast on Spotify?
I saw it, but I didn't look into it.
So I think the whole thing is like getting blown out of proportion because I keep seeing like articles about how Spotify employees are like upset with like the controversial episodes that Joe's had. And like one of the big ones I always bring up is like the transgender stuff, how like Joe doesn't really advocate transgender people competing in like women's sports particularly because you know, they're like transitioning into women.
You know what? I'm thinking of Ramble On.
That's a really good song. That's one of the ones I listen to when I go to the gym. But so like they're transitioning into women, but like, you know, they're still kind of men. So they just have like a natural advantage. And so he goes on about that, but all of these Spotify employees are like speaking up and making a big deal about it. When Joe was just recently on like his podcast saying, he was like, yeah, I haven't heard anything from Spotify.
Yeah.
Like they haven't said anything. So I think it's maybe just a little bit of like certain people on the team posting out loud and just like getting more attention to it than Spotify is trying to make it.
Right.
What are we talking about?
Joe Rogan being censored on his Spotify contract.
Over the trans.
Well, that's just an example. I mean, like there's controversial episodes with like Alex Jones, Mila. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. He's like a really, really far right guy. He's had a few people.
I think
on.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's just had a few controversial people on, and they were the ones who were delaying the episode's release on Spotify. Like all of the episodes went up except for some that had to like get reapprovals and stuff. Everything I think is still on YouTube, but there's been some flack about that. And people are like, "Oh, he shouldn't have signed the contract if he didn't want people messing with his stuff." It's like he knew what he was getting into. It's like, dude, he's not like complaining. He's just like making fun of people who are like clearly not important enough to influence his contract at all.
Who gives a fuck?
Right.
Like really?
That's my thing too.
Yeah.
Like, do you really care that much about what Joe Rogan has to say about something?
You
Where,
shouldn't.
Like, you can watch it and you can like see his opinions and form your own around it, but you shouldn't get offended by like some guy who was like a fucking MMA commentator's opinion on the rest of
Stand-up comedian, the guy who like just makes people laugh.
Right.
the world.
Right.
Like, yeah, he's gonna have some opinions that probably aren't.
The same as yours.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what?
I so agree. It's annoying that like He even said it. He was like, dude, it's a podcast. We just talk about random shit. It's not like it has any type of credibility or anything.
Right.
He's like, hardly, if Jamie doesn't pull it up, then like I just might say something and it could be completely wrong.
Right.
He's,
Right.
he's not a fucking scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have any research or anything. He's just like, hey, if a dude cut off his dick and pretended to be a girl, and he could beat a bunch of girls in a sport, that would be bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
No
It's
opinion
like-
on it.
No, I definitely. It's like you said, he's not a scientist, but he's also not trying to persuade. Like he's not
Right,
like,
he's just
making-
talking
He's
about
not
it.
trying
Yeah.
to make an argument to be like,
Yes.
this is what everyone should think. He's just
Right.
like, hey, let's have a discussion on this topic. So it's like you have to take it as them talking about something rather than them attacking your belief, right?
Right.
Because that's not what they're trying to do.
I just feel like these days, anytime somebody says an opinion that isn't the same opinion that you have, it's kind of looked at as offending your beliefs.
Yeah, if it's
I don't
outside
know,
the
man.
echo chamber, fuck that.
Yeah.
rough.
I don't want to hear
and that's
anything
on
that
both
doesn't
sides. That's
confirm my-
definitely on both sides.
That's an everyone thing. For
Yeah,
sure.
I don't want to hear anything that doesn't confirm my biases,
I just feel like there's so many like circle jerks online where you can find the same kind of people as you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where like,
Oh,
You-
I don't agree with that opinion. Block.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you can go back to your little friend group of people who have the exact same opinion of you and
Right.
talk about how shitty the other people are.
Ah, the nice and warm echo chamber.
Yeah.
God, I love it.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's nuts.
I just don't like the sensory of it all. Like censoring people and content and shit like that. It's like, dude, like that's why it's
See,
like
I
YouTube. I think we did
personally-
talk about this, like where YouTube is like, how big is YouTube? Obviously, a very big thing, but
Yeah.
the biggest.
like when does it become a point where like maybe they shouldn't censor certain content?
I think it's
Like,
their
or
company.
views.
In my opinion, it's their company. They can do whatever the fuck they want. If somebody
Yeah.
doesn't like how they handle it, I know people say this all the time, and I know it's not. It's an easier said than done kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you can go make your own platform. There's
Mhm.
nothing really stopping you,
Right.
except for
Or you just choose not to post on theirs. Just pick a
Right.
different one.
you can totally you can move to Twitch and stream your content, or
Yeah.
you could make a podcast and upload it on a podcast site.
Yeah, they have their own rules and regulations. So.
Yeah, but if YouTube says this is not okay, we want to censor it, I think YouTube's in the right to do. Same with like Twitter, same with like Instagram. I think if you have a company that's trying to portray an image, letting somebody else's image onto your site and allowing it to be there kind of says like again, if your image is like, oh, we're like a bastion of freedom of speech and anybody can come here and say anything. Yeah, you probably shouldn't be censoring anything.
Yeah.
That would be stupid.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree. I think it needs to be really transparent. If they're going to censor something, they need to be like, hey, we're censoring this and here's why. Or
Right.
even just
We
be
don't
like,
agree with this.
Yeah.
And we don't want this kind of stuff circulating on our site. I
Right.
think that's a totally cool thing to say as a company and censor something.
Yeah.
Because, like, they don't have the same rules applying to them as, like, a government. Like,
Right.
I mean, they have an image that they're trying to uphold. Like, they're marketing. They're marketing themselves as a certain thing, and like,
I think
Yeah.
the big one for
You
me
said it
was,
really well.
do you guys remember when all the coronavirus stuff, like, was, like, probably, like, 2 months in? There was that Plandemic video that went up on Facebook, and it got removed a bunch.
No, I don't.
Well,
remember.
I remember hearing about it, but I
Okay,
didn't,
well,
I didn't ever see
basically
it.
this like disgraced biologist or something. She pretty much got fucked over by Fauci and like all the people up in the higher ups because she had stolen research and then broken into a lab and stolen a laptop that had her research because she thought that it belonged to her. But whatever.
Damn.
Like
She
she actually
thought it
got
belonged to
criminal charges on it, but pretty much she was disgraced from that point and went into the anti-vax scene because she had a background of medicine and
Right.
gave some credibility to the bullshit they spew. So she went through a whole thing, and when the coronavirus hit, she said it was all a planned thing and they meant to do it and it's a government conspiracy. And she posted it on Facebook and it got taken down because Facebook has that new thing that they're trying to do where they're trying to kind of
Block.
push fake news off the website.
Yeah.
And people were jumping in saying that Facebook was like
In on it. Yeah, of course.
Well, Facebook's in on it. Facebook's like basically like Hitler. Like they're fucking they're censoring all the truths.
yeah.
And it's like they're fucking Facebook. They can do whatever they want. Like they have no legal obligation to have anything on the site that they don't want on the site.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like,
People are like, we're gonna contact like the government. We're gonna sue you guys for taking down our shit. Like, you're not gonna do shit.
I think the only time they would be able to pull it off is if it like in their Facebook rules said that it was doing this and then went against that. That's the only time.
When you sign up for Facebook,
but they make the rules.
When you sign up for Facebook, you get a big fucking document that no one reads.
Right, of course.
And in that document that no one reads, it says we can do whatever the fuck we want with any of your information and any of your posts.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Have you guys seen the documentary on Netflix called The Social Dilemma?
No.
I don't know if I mentioned it on the last podcast. Did I?
I think I saw it like recommended on Netflix.
It's so good.
What is it about?
So the whole premise is like about how social media in general is just like basically, I mean, like it's kind of drastic to say it this way, but they bring it up in a certain way where it's like it's destroying a democracy, because all it's doing is like it's not allowing for free speech. It's allowing these people to like get into echo chambers where they only see the same information that confirms their biases. Because think about it, what Instagram can do is track what you scroll through your list, right? So like you look at your picture, you skip through, they can tell who you skip through. They can tell what pictures you stop and look at and be like, they interact with this type of content more than other stuff. So they gear towards that kind of thing. So at the end of the day,
I guess that explains why my Instagram is all fighter jets.
At the end of the day, you end up getting like all of these things that you're like, I like this, but yet you're following like 500 people and not seeing posts from like 300 of them.
Right.
Because you're only seeing the same 200 that are posting the same kind of thing, and you're never going to come across those posts that are different because it's not part of your algorithm.
Right.
So,
I don't really use Instagram.
I don't either.
I don't use any social media.
That's
good.
good.
Do you use Instagram?
No, I have one.
So do I.
I've deleted all of the posts, and I very rarely ever go on it.
Yeah.
I use it for our friend group has a group chat on Instagram. So like every once in a while I'll pop in there. That's about it.
I think the worst thing about the entire idea is that this is a generalization. I would think a majority of people ask them, like when they hear that, they go, so what? What's the big deal? What's the big deal if they have my data? I don't care. I don't do anything illegal. I don't do anything dangerous. I'm not hiding anything from anyone.
I don't care.
I also don't care.
There you go. See, now the problem that you run into is regardless of whether or not you care, the results that you get when you use the internet are going to be different. Now, some people, sure, maybe they only want to search up things that are related to RuneScape, and so that all of their first 9 of the 10 posts on their Google page are about RuneScape. It's like, okay, well, I guess if you're just using the internet for that, that's fine. It's going to keep working for you. But the second you try and, it happens with airlines a lot. You try and shop for a flight to Spain, and you're like, it's like $300 right now. Maybe if it goes a little lower, I'll come back. You come back a week later, it's like $320, and you're like, fuck. And then, they can track how often you're checking in on these flights or doing Google searches to check different flights, and they try and use that information against you.
Yeah.
I mean, a biased search result when you're doing anything is sometimes good and sometimes bad, but I would say most of the time it's bad.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Well, that's what I'm saying. Eventually, when do these things become too big? People
when does the
where it's
algorithm
like,
start
okay.
inhibiting what you can actually learn on the internet? What if they can tell from just using Google and saving your Google results if you've been looking up Biden stuff? Just for example, because the election's right around the corner, you're looking up a bunch of Biden things. It's like typically it seems to trend pro-Biden, all these good things about Biden, all the things he's doing. He's winning in polls that you have no idea what kind of research goes into, but yada yada yada, more Biden stuff.
Right.
And then you don't even hear about when Biden made a bad decision and killed civilians in Iraq, or who knows, because you watch so much Biden stuff, you never hear about Trump signing a bill that helps homeless people or, helps pay off kids' tuition, whatever it is. You know what I mean? You just get biased results and you can't get the whole picture. It's like, how can you be okay with just being, whatever, it's skewed, it's fine, it's in my echo chamber, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, is that okay with you?
So for me,
I feel. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you first. Go for it.
I feel like if you fall into an echo chamber, you almost want to. I feel like if you're intelligent enough to kind of look at things from the outside and say, yeah, there's positives and negatives on both sides of most situations. Most situations aren't black and white. Sometimes they are. Sometimes there's very black and white situations where you look at it and you're like, okay, I know what side I'm on. But I feel like most times when you look at something, you gotta like kind of see the points that both like kinds of people are going for, and kind of look in the middle and say like, I wonder why that is, instead of just like blindly following a side.
Yeah, right. I agree.
What were you gonna say, Sean?
I was just gonna say, so for me, like I feel like I don't have super strong opinions on a lot of stuff. I'm pretty like relaxed about most things, but even if I'm looking up like all pro Biden stuff per se, or it could go the other way. I'm only looking up good things about Trump. If I go to Google and type in Trump big bad, I'll find something like, and if it's tracking my results, right? If it's tracking
It
me,
is, not if.
Yeah, no. That's what I mean. So like it's tracking me. So if it picks up that I'm looking up all pro Trump, if I start looking up anti-Trump, it's gonna pick up on that too, right? So it's just a matter of understanding. Like I'm smart enough to understand that the things that I'm gonna see are gonna be slanted one way, and you have to be able to, in my opinion, like read something and never take it at face value.
Right. You should look from the outside in.
Do you think a majority of people
Oh, no.
are
Absolutely,
able to do
Absolutely
that?
not.
I think most people are dumb as shit.
And also, most people don't even know what Sam's talking about.
Yeah.
So when you type Trump after you've typed Big Bad Trump 100 times or whatever, you're only going to get Big Bad Trump stuff. But you might not you, but somebody would be like, yeah, I want to know about Trump. Okay, well, since you've been looking up Big Bad Trump, here's all the Big Bad Trump shit.
yeah.
You know,
Right.
you know what actually
You're right.
That
pisses
did
me
not
off?
match your search. Huh?
Or
You know what pisses me off more than any of that? When it recommends something that I already bought, that gets me
Or
pissed.
like YouTube.
I agree.
that
You know I
recommends-
bought it, so
Right.
Dude, I've been starting to do this thing where YouTube shows me videos that I've already watched, and I'll click. I make the effort to go in and click like, do not show me this. I've already seen it. There's an option for it, and they have not. They still fucking show me things that I've fucking
'cause of the
seen
fucking
already.
algorithm.
It's so annoying.
I like. You know what I like is
I think when
when
the algorithm's obvious, that's when it's annoying.
I like when the algorithm goes so wrong that it is great, and I'm like, yes, thank you. Like, for example, what was I watching the other day? I was like, why the fuck did they ask me to watch this? God damn it! Oh, it was the 2019 Brazilian Carnival fucking fair.
Yeah.
Why were
like-
you watching that?
Because it came up on my YouTube feed.
Yes.
I was like,
wait,
I never
Danny
expressed
goes,
I guess
interest.
I've been watching a lot of Olympic archery, so
Yeah, Danny goes, why the fuck is this on here? Click.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And YouTube's over there like, yeah.
We got him.
YouTube's over there like, yes, more clicks, more
Yeah, yeah.
clicks. It's nuts, man. It's so fucked. Like, people don't even understand, like, you know when most people say Facebook sells your data? Mm-hmm. Facebook doesn't sell your data. None of these big companies are selling your data per se. They're collecting and hoarding all of it. They're selling advertisements to people based on the data.
Right.
They're not giving the data away. Fuck. That's the most important thing that they could possibly have.
Right.
Believe me, they're not selling your data. They're selling ads to you by using your data.
Right.
So, it's just such a mess. I mean, think about it. What if you were just trying to fucking go to some place in Tennessee and you're just like Googling Tennessee food in there, and like you see like Trump, because you've been looking at politics stuff, you see like Trump had a cheeseburger here in this part of Tennessee. Like, what the fuck? It's like, I didn't ask. All I'm
Right.
looking for is food, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'm a big advocate for them collecting my data. Honestly,
Why?
because like,
I don't
dude,
hate
the
it.
algorithm, that shit works. Most of the time, that shit
when
works.
the algorithm works,
I feel like you just have to understand. Like, you have to be smart enough to realize that it's happening.
Okay, so if you think you're smart enough to realize it's happening, right?
Most of the time.
Most of the time. So here's the question for you. We've only been collecting data since, let's say, 2006, right? That's about 14 years ago. What do you think's going to happen in like 25 years? What do you think's going to be possible that they can do with your data?
They're
in
harvesting
25
data
years?
through 7G directly from my brain.
I mean, I have no idea, but
I'm
like,
down, dude. Like, if I'm like, damn, I'm low-key hungry, and all of a sudden on my fucking sunglass visor it pops up food near you,
right.
I'm
But
about it.
think about it. You don't know what they're going to do with the data, do you?
I don't care.
I think the most frightening
The
thing.
worst part is no one knows.
Right.
No one knows what they can do with the data. That's why you should care. Because to think that they can't do anything with the data makes you the dumbass.
yeah, but what's
Oh.
the worst that can happen?
I mean, they
Right.
they can do shit, but like,
Like, don't you think it's a little naive to be like, oh, yeah, it just messes with my search results? Like, sure,
Yeah,
that's
for sure. Yeah.
that's because we're in the infancy of data collection. Mm-hmm. They have massive, gargantuan warehouses just lined with computers, underground, just layers of computers to store data. Do you really think it's like, oh, yeah, I mean, it's just data. I mean, why?
Yeah.
What do they care? It's like, clearly they care a fuck ton.
Yeah.
It's their most important thing they have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's
Like, I can see how it gets out of hand. Just like, to me, I don't think it's at a breaking point.
Sure, but I
agree.
mean, at what point does it need to do that for you to be like, ah, fuck, yeah, this
I
sucks?
think it's when it impedes the internet for you, when it gets in your way. I think that's the breaking point.
I think so. I think it is starting to get, like you said, specifically like echo chambers. I think echo chambers are very bad. I think it's just like not a good, like, that's how, for like Ku Klux Klan, like, you just put a bunch of Ku Klux Klan members in a room and they go, hey, I don't like these people, and everyone goes, yeah,
Me too.
yeah, that guy's
Well,
got
if
an
all
idea.
these people agree, we're
Right.
right.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Like, that's obviously terrible. But like, I don't know. There's pros and cons to it, and I very much enjoy the pros, and I think I can avoid the cons as of now, for the most part. So like, do I think most people do that? No, I think most people are click click click.
So,
But-
what do you do when you're in a situation where you can no longer avoid the cons?
I bug out and just fucking leave.
You just
Like,
stop using
dude,
the internet?
like gone. Like,
Cabin in the woods, shotgun. just
yeah.
No
Like-
one comes near me.
It's
Yeah,
literally,
right.
it's
Entire
literally
pallet
gonna
of
be
peaches.
like they will farm my data
Canned peaches.
to God's end until all of a sudden something happens and I'm like, nope, no more, and I'm out.
I just hope that doesn't come too late for you. I mean, obviously I use the internet just like everyone else. And I typically don't like clear my history or my autofill, stuff like that. But I know how to, when I search for things that are important, when I'm trying to get like genuine information out of something, and I can tell that I'm not going to want a biased search result, I'll use incognito. Just open up something that's not going to use your
So I usually do, too.
autofill, stuff like that. I mean, obviously not to say that Google's not still tracking that, but they're not using it in that active search result.
Right.
And I think that's important. But
Going back, sorry, 1 second.
No, it's okay.
Going back to what he said, doomsday prepping, pretty cool. I'm like big on doomsday prepping. I think that shit's awesome.
seems fun.
I think it's a complete waste of fucking money and time.
I think it's just sick.
I think it's really fun to look at and watch.
yeah.
I don't know, man.
Right.
I want a bunker.
I
Personally,
would go to somebody's bunker and all that, just like, oh, that's kind of cool, but I would never do it myself.
Do I think a bunker would realistically come in handy? Probably not. Would it be
Maybe.
sick to have?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, like, let's say the nukes drop, right? Okay. So
Okay.
what are you fucking surviving for anyway? Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Think about the cool radioactive creatures we can find. What if-
Those don't pop up until like 100 years later when everything
Right.
it has been like fucking inbred and fucking radioactive.
They
Yes,
fed off the
dude,
radio.
yeah,
so
right.
they always make them scary, but what if they're cool?
They might be.
Like
Yeah, they could be cool.
they're radioactive, and it's just like, damn, dude, that is the cutest 8-legged dog I have ever seen.
I'm just saying, like, I
Like,
think,
what
I
if
think
it goes
personally,
good?
I could probably do like a year or two in a bunker with just like canned peaches. I could fucking do it. Sounds not that bad.
I'd go nuts.
Go a little nuts, you know.
Yeah, you'd go nuts.
Yeah.
But then you get to
You'd
be that
definitely go
guy
nuts.
when you get out of your bunker.
Damn, what a time. I hope to God that we never, ever, ever are in a situation where anyone needs a bunker. Ever.
Yeah, hopefully.
Like the world would have to be in chaos.
Yeah.
There's no way it wouldn't be.
It's
Oh,
gonna,
yeah.
That's how we're gonna close out
have
2020.
I have a question.
Moving into our fucking
for
bunkers.
Sam.
Sure.
So you're obviously like super trying to be super aware about the data farming, right?
Right.
Don't you want to upload your brain? Haven't you said that?
In the sense of like at the end of my time, like if my brain's gonna go and I need to upload it to like a hard drive,
Yeah.
and like then I can store it in that hard drive and then replace my brain.
Wouldn't they be able to just
They
copy
could.
paste
I mean, like,
your brain?
If
Isn't
Google,
that an issue?
If Google did it, sure. But I mean, like, at a
I am
certain point,
100% for a cyber initiative.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah, me too.
Like if they could put my brain
I
in
just-
a fishbowl and put me in a robot, I'm
Right.
in.
Yeah.
See,
right.
I just found it interesting because you're super
Right, that they could harvest
Yeah.
all of that data.
you're super aware about the data, but also at the same time want to.
Right. I mean, there's definitely a humane way to deal with technology, and I feel like if we're that far into the future, which like is so unimaginably far in the future that like it's not even
Yeah.
we can't even give it legitimate ideas. But I mean, if it were to be able to be done humanely, sure, I would do it. I mean, if it was like Google who was like, yeah, by the way, we reserve all the rights to all the data we pull from your brain, then no, I definitely
Yeah.
don't think I would do it.
I'd still
Okay.
do it.
I just found it an interesting concept.
If the options are like die and or be uploaded to a mega cloud and exist virtually, I'd take the virtual existence.
Well, you
That
can't
sounds kinda
upload.
cool.
You can't upload consciousness. So I mean, like the whole thing, this would just
Yeah,
digress into
that's-
very
yeah.
ridiculous things. But
I'm just waiting to get as soon as I can put a USB in the back of my head and plug into
VR games.
VR, like everything. Just,
Yeah.
I'm gone.
I agree, man.
I ain't coming back. I've said it.
I think augmented reality is coming first. We're gonna have glasses that
Dude,
like
augmented reality
analyze shit.
sucks.
Yeah, well, it does now, but
No,
like,
no.
think
I-
about how it could be
it's-
in 20 years.
No. It's cool,
I
but
don't
it's
even think it's cool. I think it
it's-
sucks.
It sucks compared to real VR.
Yes.
Well, no.
Right.
The problem with augmented reality is to make augmented reality any worthwhile, you have to design areas of the real world that work with augmented reality. Just having people fucking blunder around and do shit, it's stupid.
I don't know what you mean at all.
Okay, so augmented reality, like Pokemon Go, is an augmented reality game, right?
Sick.
I disagree. I think it's fucking dumb because there's no design. It's just you fucking walk around and sometimes a thing randomly pops up next to you and you go, huh?
Yeah, right. But a utility for it would be like having glasses that tell you where to go, like directions and shit.
Right, but it would have to lead somewhere fulfilling.
Bro,
You know what I mean?
It's a GPS.
Listen,
cocksucker.
listen.
It's wherever you want to go.
That wouldn't be cool. There's nothing cool about
you're wrong.
that.
You're wrong. You're wrong, and here's why.
Do you imagine just like you need to go this way? It's 1,000 miles this direction. Like what the fuck?
Dude, my mom's car has like the heads-up display.
Oh, the heads-up display is super cool.
Isn't that in the
No,
same realm?
Okay, that's not like an augmented reality game. That's
No,
just
no.
augmented reality in general.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, dude. The heads-up display,
What?
it shows
We're talking
directions.
about games.
We're talking about games. I was talking about AR in general.
Oh yeah, no. If we're talking just AR in
Oh my
general, where you
God,
could just put like a
Tyler.
heads-up display over your eye,
Yeah.
I'm in.
Where would it go?
I thought we were talking about games. Because I'm like,
I was thinking more Google Glass. You know, like
Yeah.
Google Glass just looks stupid.
Right.
I mean, it could be kind of cool.
I mean, Google Glass, previously the main issue is that they looked stupid. But I mean, Facebook's starting to talk about like what they want to do with AR, and they're like, yeah, I mean, you could like look at something and instantly tell how far away it is. Which obviously, like to you and I, be like, yeah, I don't give a fuck how far away the wall is. You know, does nothing.
I don't give a shit.
Right. But like Danny was saying, like, what if you could just drive and have your fucking glasses just tell you where to go?
Right.
Like you never had to type it in. Like
Right.
you just like maybe in the very beginning you tell it where you want to go, and it's like, all right, I'll show you how to get there on the road. And
Right.
you're like, damn, that's sick.
That'd be
Dude,
cool.
that's
Or you could like check a fucking menu out, and you could like look for specific things. You could already have a preference for what you want. And be like, yep, here it is. It'll show you what highlighted. It bolds things. You could do whatever the fuck you want.
sick.
I agree with you though. Like, I want a world where I like never leave a chair, and that my body really doesn't matter,
Right.
except for the fact that I needed to uplink to like fucking
Right.
Yes.
whatever waifu shit I would be playing.
That's his goal.
Look, as soon as we can upload our brains to a computer,
Right.
I'm out. Like it's
Yeah.
not even close.
But that would be VR,
So, like-
not AR.
No,
No, that would be VR.
Right.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
So it'll
yeah.
start with me plugging my brain into VR, and then I'm just in the VR world.
Right.
That's the start. Then we get to where Sam's at, and I upload my brain, so my actual body doesn't matter anymore, and
Yeah.
I never have to
Dump
come
it.
back.
I mean, I
Dump
think
it.
I don't think we'll
Throw
ever
it out. I don't care.
I don't think we'll
Bring
ever
on
get
the
to
Matrix
that point.
world.
Yeah. Right.
I don't see. I don't see us ever being able to recreate consciousness ever. I don't think it's doable. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. So I don't think that being able to upload your brain to something will carry you with it. Like, sure, you can copy. Maybe you can copy actual bits of information, but there's no way that like you would be able to like go to the cloud and process that information there. Like they would just kind of like harvest it and then keep that data, and then they could like import it into things like your VR game, sure, but
I
like
can
it's
dream,
not.
right?
There's no way I don't think they could get a hold of your consciousness.
I think they might be able to one day because like they already make like not like AI with they are testing it at least AI with personality, and I feel like that's not like a huge stone's throw away from like okay.
Can
like,
you define consciousness?
It's not I want to say it's mindfulness, like acknowledging that you exist.
I don't think I can define consciousness. Yeah, maybe acknowledging that you exist, but like
Yeah, I think that's
is
all
that
it is.
it?
Yeah, I am.
So how did we evolve into things that could
Yeah.
acknowledge
I think
ourselves?
therefore I am. I think that's consciousness
Right.
defined. Yeah.
And do you think that? I mean, like, I just feel that might just be something that's like explicitly evolutionary. Like, how would you
Yeah.
program that?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
makes
the
no
issue
sense
is
to
like
me.
thinking new things, right? Like a
Yeah.
computer's really good at pulling up, and like a computer can like guess and simulate things, but like
Well, see,
thinking
that's I
complete,
guess what I
but it's
think.
always based on data,
I think they'll
right?
never be able to replicate the brain, but they might be able to integrate the brain into
Yeah.
something like a
Yeah.
computer where you could
Yeah,
simulate.
Neuralink.
Right.
They're already doing that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but with a neural link, you can simulate eyes, you can simulate
Yeah.
sensations.
Yeah, you can like
So,
trick
it-
certain nerves into firing.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you could still have what they want. It's just you'd have to have your brain in a jar somewhere.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I mean, like, I just don't know any other way around it. But
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
not a
think they'll ever
scientist.
be able to fully replicate the human brain, where you can literally just suck everything out and put it somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah, we'll play our waifu game. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just like Sword Art Online. I don't know if you've ever seen that
Yeah,
show.
I was thinking more of what's that fucking really bad movie that was also a book that
Oh.
wasn't very good.
Spy Kids 3D.
No,
Yeah, no, Ready Player One.
Ready Player One.
Oh, yeah.
Did you say good or bad?
I thought it was pretty bad.
But it's funny. Like
What?
Ready
I
Player
thought it
One,
was
the
bad.
book is actually more like how they do it in Sword Art Online. Like it's not like an AR or VR thing where they're moving around. Like
But
they
they
just
plug
plug
in
in.
and go to a
They plug in,
different
sit in a
dimension.
seat, and then they're there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what they were trying to go for. Which, by the way, I thought that movie was great, but whatever.
I didn't like it.
I thought it was okay.
I liked it. I thought it was
mean,
good.
It was definitely like, hey, how many licenses can we fucking get our fucking hands on and
Right.
just throw it in the movie?
I don't know. I really like having VR represent you. Like fully, like with your whole body, and not just like fucking plug it into the back of your head. And
Yeah.
No, I want to plug something into the back of my head and have that intercept the things from my brain and translate it into my character.
Yes.
if it doesn't make me sweaty as fuck, I'm down.
Dude, you wake
Have
up.
you
Think
used
about it.
VR?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
It's
wake
sweaty.
up. You wake up and you're rested, dude. You haven't moved.
Right.
You're feeling
Yeah, but
good.
your muscles have also atrophied and you can't leave. So
Well,
it's like, well, I might as well
yeah.
just go back.
See, dude, I'm big and strong in the game.
Yeah.
Why would I leave?
Yeah, right.
You wouldn't.
Yeah, my muscles are too gone to
You
fucking.
leave and you look. You leave and you look, and the IV drip bag still has fuel, so
Yeah,
I plug
right.
back in. I'm good.
Right.
I don't know. I think the only thing I didn't like about VR is I'm still short in VR.
Just bump up the height, dude.
you can bump up the height, but then you can't pick things up, and then people know.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
People know.
Like somebody, like you're playing a game, you drop your gun. They're like, "Oh, pick up your gun." You're like,
Okay.
"I'll try."
Yeah. Well, why don't you
Lay
get
down
it
on
and
the
then give me
floor,
yours?
Here, you hand me your gun.
Yeah,
you
right.
can take my gun.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I think we're about to wrap this episode up. Danny,
Yeah.
Words of wisdom.
all you, baby.
What happened this week that we could talk about real quick? I don't know. Because like I like to give my advice. I like that it's a personal thing that a lesson I learned this week. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I don't think I learned anything this week.
Nothing from
You
last
always
night.
learn. Come on.
No.
Well, we're waiting on you.
This is yeah.
It's literally completely up to you.
You don't learn something every day. You know what I'm saying?
You don't learn something every day.
No, that's a bullshit lie. You know what else is a bullshit lie is fucking money doesn't make happiness. Fuck you. What are you
Yeah.
fucking talking about? Fuck yourself.
See, I think
Right.
money doesn't necessarily give you happiness, but you're a lot happier than if you're fucking broke.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's a fucking scam. It's like, yeah, these rich people don't want us
I think
poor
it's
people to
okay.
know.
So like, if you're like super wealthy, are you trying to wrap it up?
Yeah, I'm trying to wrap this up.
Okay, fucking just wrap it up. Here, your words of wisdom are: don't stick your dick in blenders.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thanks, Ty.
Yeah.